Cooper Lutkenhaus, 17 years old, still in high school, he just became the youngest individual world champion in the entire history of track and field. Every record said it was impossible for someone his age. He did it anyway. Before you understand what just happened in Poland, you need to understand where this kid came from. Cooper Lutkenhaus was born on the 19th of December 2008 in North Texas. He is a junior at Northwest High School in Justin, Texas, a regular student who carries textbooks, worries about homework, and, somewhere in between all of that, happens to be one of the fastest 800-meter runners on the planet. He comes from a family built on sport. His mother, Tricia, was a two-time Texas state qualifier in the 4x400 relay. His father, George, ran the 800 meters and competed at the University of North Texas. His older brother, Andrew, ran 150.04 as a high school senior and now runs for the University of Tulsa. Sport is not a new thing in this house, but what Cooper is doing is something entirely new. At age 14, Cooper was selected for the prestigious Nike Elite program, an initiative that gives mentorship and competitive opportunities to just 40 high school track athletes in the entire country each year. He was in 8th grade. By February 2025, still just 16, he ran 146.86 at the famous Millrose Games in New York City, shattering the national indoor high school record. That same year, he won the Texas Class 6A 800 meters state title. He broke a 29-year-old outdoor high school national record, running 145.45 at Nike Outdoor Nationals. He was accelerating past records that had survived for decades. His coach at Northwest High School, Chris Capeau, watched the workouts and could not believe what he was seeing. The times were dropping almost every week. Something bigger was coming. Nobody knew how big. On August 3rd, 2025, at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon, the entire track and field world got its answer. The USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships are the most competitive national championship meet anywhere on Earth. The 800 meters final that day included Donavan Brazier, the 2019 world champion. It included Bryce Hoppel, the American record holder. It included Josh Hoey, the 2025 world indoor champion. These were not just good runners. These were the best Americans alive at this event. Lutkenhaus, 16 years old, a high school student, lined up against all of them. With 300 meters to go, a gap opened. The four professionals broke away. A normal 16-year-old would have accepted the distance and held on. Lutkenhaus did the opposite. He launched his kick. He ran down Hoey, he ran down Miller, he ran down Hoppel. He could not catch Brazier, who crossed first in 142.16. But Lutkenhaus crossed second in 142.27, a time that shattered the under-18 world record by 1.1 full seconds, a record that had stood since Ethiopian Mohamed Aman set it in 2011. He crossed the line with his hands on his head, mouth open, completely stunned. The time made him the fourth fastest American in history. He ranked 6th in the world that year, not among teenagers, not among juniors, 6th in the entire world. Donavan Brazier, the race winner, did not hide what he was thinking. He told reporters afterward, "This kid is phenomenal. I'm glad I'm 28 and maybe only have a few years left in me. I hopefully won't have to deal with him in his prime because that dude is definitely pretty special." The silver medal earned Cooper Lutkenhaus a spot on Team USA for the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, making him, at 16 years old, the youngest man ever to represent the United States at a world championship. He joked about missing school. He joked about homework waiting for him back in Texas. But he knew, and everyone watching knew, that something historic had just begun. The 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo did not go as hoped. Lutkenhaus was eliminated in the preliminary round, finishing 7th in his heat. He was competing on the biggest stage of his life, jet-lagged and racing in his first senior global championship, after running straight from high school cross-country through indoor and outdoor track without a real break. But Lutkenhaus was not broken by it. He was sharpened. He vowed to carry that painful feeling into his next chance. He took time to recover. He came back for the 2026 indoor season fresher and more focused than ever before. On February 1st, 2026, at the Millrose Games, he broke the under-20 world record in the 600 meters, clocking 114.15. 13 days later, on February 14th, he set a new under-20 world record indoors at the 800 meters, running 144.03 at the ASICS Sound Invite. He was not just bouncing back, He was announcing that the best was still ahead. On March 1st, he won the USA Indoor Track and Field Championships 800 meters title in 146.68. National champion. Professional level competition. High school student. The World Athletics Indoor Championships in Torun, Poland were 3 weeks away. The World Athletics Indoor Championships took place in Torun, Poland on March 22, 2026. The 800 meters final was stacked. Belgium's Elliot Creston had medaled at the last 2 World Indoors. Spain's Mohamed Attawi had finished 5th at the 2024 Olympics and the 2025 World Championships. Australia's Peter Bull had run 142 outdoors. These were world-class, experienced professionals. Lutkenhaus had never won a senior global medal. He was 17 years and 93 days old. At the halfway point, Creston led, exactly as he had done in his previous championship races. This was his formula. This was his strength. The experienced Belgian knew how to control a championship final. Then Lutkenhaus made his move. On the 3rd lap, he took the lead. He did not hesitate. He did not look back. He crossed the finish line in 144.2 for gold. Creston took silver in 144.38. Attawi took bronze in 144.66. At 17 years and 93 days old, Cooper Lutkenhaus became the youngest individual world champion in the history of track and field. Not just the youngest indoor champion, not just the youngest 800 meters champion, the youngest individual champion at any World Athletics Championship, indoor or outdoor, ever staged. He broke the record held by Mohamed Aman, who had won at 18 years and 61 days old in 2012. He also became the youngest individual medalist of any color in World Indoor Championships history, breaking a record held by Cuban high jump legend Javier Sotomayor. In the post-race interview, Lutkenhaus described what went through his mind on that decisive 3rd lap. "I came out here thinking I probably wasn't the favorite, but anytime I feel like I can step into a final, I have a chance to win. Maybe it came from confidence, or maybe from being too young, but I really wanted to try to make a defining move." He was applauded by his competitors throughout the final. Teammates from the infield yelled for him in the closing 150 meters. He credited them for carrying him over the line. Cooper Lutkenhaus cannot vote yet. He will not graduate high school until next year. He is still doing homework on the days between workouts. And he is the youngest individual world champion in the history of track and field. What he did in the span of 1 year is almost impossible to put into words. At 16, he ran 142.27, the greatest 800 meters performance ever recorded by a 16-year-old anywhere in the world, by any measure. He made Team USA. He signed with Nike. He competed in Tokyo at the World Championships. He came back, reset junior world records, and then stood on top of the entire sport at age 17. He is not peaking. His coaches believe he is still improving. The outdoor season, the next World Championships, the Los Angeles Olympics, all of it is still ahead of him. The most frightening thing about Cooper Lutkenhaus is not what he has already done. It is what is still coming. Because if a teenager can do all of this now, the sport of track and field may never be the same again.